Welcome back. This is part 2 of these boundaries and stress series. In the last video, I've talked about how lack of boundaries can cause energy drainage, fatigue, exhaustion, and burned out, and how boundaries actually going to help you with stress management. And is actually a very important concept that I have learned during my life coaching program. In this video, I really want to extract the knowledge I've learned during my life coaching program and share that with you. Specifically, how setting boundaries lowers your stress immediately and directly, and how to do that with your calendar to begin with. So in today's video, I want to teach you how to set limits in your calendar so that you can protect your energy and your well-being and avoid yourself from having constant burned out and exhaustion or overwhelm. I want to talk about 2 things that you need to do. Step 1 is to review your current calendar setup, and we're going to identify areas where boundaries can be improved, which could be lacking at this moment, but in no time you'll learn how to actually strategically set up your calendar so that it's something that is doable, reasonable, sustainable, and most importantly, not drain you at the end of the day every day. That will lead to overall exhaustion. So I want you to open up your calendar, and we're going to identify your tasks and your activities and your events into 3 categories. Category number 1 would be energy drainers, and they would be coded in color red, ideally, or orange, or some sort of color that is alarming. And so you would divide up your calendar into events that would either be red, blue, or green. Blue being nothing crazy, but these are things that will still require your energy in some ways, and it not an extreme energy drainer, but like a mediocre energy drainer. They're typically more low stake. And then the other activities into green, and green are the kind of activities that would actually replenish your energy. So let me give you examples. Red type of events or tasks or activities would be typically a big presentation or at work, or a big meeting that would require a lot of thinking and energy and effort. It could be a parent-student meeting, depending on the type of meeting it is and the type of student you have. It could be a dental appointment, something that you dread. Just thinking about it would lead you to think about, It could be a call with a professional to talk about investments or financial planning, again, requiring you to look at things, think about things, and strategize and whatnot. So these are the red ones, okay? You need to identify them. I mean, for everyone, it could be different. Sometimes it could be picking up a child, that could be a red. And I remember, if I have a sick parent, back in the day, taking care of his elderly parent could definitely be a red event. So for everyone, it's different, but you need to be honest with yourself in terms of how draining is this activity on your energy. And you need to really feel into it, just thinking about it. What is your body saying? Is it like a cringe? Is it like are you rolling your eyes? That's a big indication of what type of color this event or activity or task would be. In terms of blue type of events, activities, or tasks, it would be lower stake type things. If it's just a quick call with someone that, doesn't have significant outcome or, desired outcome, then it would be less intense, not as stressy, something that you're like, okay, I can do it, blindfolded, or not a problem, 10 minutes, something quicker. Or it could be a time block, which is something I want to introduce you to. So if you envision yourself doing emails, responding to emails, plan your calendar, organize your folders, or do some type of training that is required from work, those would be your blue items. And I want you to time block on your calendar these type of activities, because if you don't set aside time. When are you really going to do it, right? You don't want to cram it into your day without knowing that you're expending that energy. So make sure you have a time block for these type of things that are blue. And in addition to other things that could be blue, you would have your working time block, and it could be red. Working time block could absolutely be red if it's a big project or a big slide presentation that you're working on, depending on how much effort that you need to put into it, right? And expanding into things beyond work, these could be talking to medical professionals, it could be dealing with more stressy type things, could be also a red. And then the next one is green. So this is the fun one. This is the type of things that would replenish your energy, including like a dance class, like a yoga class, like a time block for watching YouTube videos with your favorite, YouTubers. It could be meditating, it could be walking the dog, it could be getting some fresh air, it could be just going for a quick eat, or whatever it is that you feel like, oh, this is the time I chill. I mean, make sure you actually have time blocked for just putting your feet up on the couch for a little bit, or just resting, or just taking a nap. Because I want you to think about the red, blue, and green things in your calendars, and make sure you set a limit in terms of what you can achieve every day. What I mean is, for Monday, plan it so that you only have 2 red or 1 red, depending on how you see that day, or what time of the month it is, or what time of the year it is, right? Because you want to plan your April to be a little bit less intense because you have taxes, right? So taxes is definitely a red, unless your taxes is easier than mine. But you need to think about like the time of the month, the time of the year as well. And then whether it's Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or Friday. Friday, you want a lighter day, so you absolutely don't want to have like 5 red things. For Friday, I would say plan for 1 red max. Ideally, not even a red. Maybe two blues, and the more green, the better, because you want the green to cancel out the red in essence, and keep it the very neutral blue day as much as you can. So, for example, Monday could be 1 red, 2 blue, and 1 green. On Tuesday, if you really have to muster up the energy to do 2 red, make sure you're not planning on a lot of blues, and making sure that you have more than 1 green to cancel out your reds. So you're getting the gist of what I'm saying here, is that you want to neutralize your day and not cram everything together, especially the reds. So if you have 5 reds on Monday, no green, another 3 reds on Tuesday, no green, another how many reds, so on and so forth, without any greens, you're definitely going to get burned out. So be very specific and strategic when you're planning your calendar, making sure you're organizing it so that you're using the greens to cancel out the reds, and make your day feasible, reasonable, and sustainable. So again, rank your stress level according to the activity or event, making sure you're only prioritizing so many of these things in a day that you're capping out perhaps like limits for the day. How many reds, how many blues? And green is really what I want to emphasize on. And these are things that I've already captured in the video, sharing with you what are some of the stress relievers. And all of those things would be green. So if you haven't watched that video, find that video. So I hope that makes it clear. If you have any ideas how you want to do it, leave a comment below. I would love to hear them. Step 2 of the technique is to learn how to say no, because obviously you can only do so many things in 1 day or 1 week and 1 month. So I want you to set realistic expectation in terms of how much you can intake into your calendar. And in doing so, you may need to learn how to decline or say no. And if you have discomfort saying no, or if you're one of those who more than willing to say yes, then you need to consider what I'm going to tell you here is we need to learn how to practice discernment when we're responding or intaking events. Because sometimes we say yes because we may have FOMO, fear of missing out, or because we are people pleasers. We want to make sure we do everything to please everyone, which is impossible in the long term. Or we just have not practiced in how to say no in a firm and healthy, kind manner. So I'm sharing with you these examples in saying no. So when we're saying no, we want to make sure that we are kind, clear, direct, and respectful. And you don't need to over explain. I think if saying no is something that you're not comfortable with, and you may tend to over explain. And it's something that over time you get better at. So don't worry about it. Learn to say no without guilt. Okay. And you can do this absolutely by practicing it. In no time you get it. In the beginning I was extremely uncomfortable, but I have to say that after a year or two, it's something that I completely can get it under any circumstances. So it just comes with practice. Again, there's no need for excessive explanation. You don't need to say, I'm profusely sorry, I really can't come because I have to do this and this and that. You just need to be firm and say, I'm tentative on this, or I can't make it, but have fun, or I can't make it, I'm sorry. You don't need to really say why unless you want to, or unless the other person asks, because when you send out an invitation to others, you really want to hear whether it's a yes, no, or sometimes tentative. So I'm sharing with you these standard practice lines that people use that are extremely respectful and kind and direct and clear, so that you can actually use them. And make sure you practice discernment before you say yes or no. Give it some consideration. Whether it's someone asking you to do them a favor or helping them move, or parents asking you to do them a favor to do certain chores, you really absolutely have the right to plan your day out so that you're not exhausting and burning yourself out. And I encourage you to take action and start looking at your calendar and start implementing these techniques and strategies. And I would like to invite you to share your experience with me and see how it's going with setting the calendar boundaries in the comments below. Subscribe for more. If this video helped you out, let me know. In my next video, I'm going to talk about how to set boundaries with family members. And I will see you in the next one.